You never delete his contact. Not because you're hoping, but because deleting it would mean admitting something your heart still refuses to accept. The name is still there, untouched. Same photo, same spelling, frozen in time, the way he isn't allowed to be. The house is quiet in a way that hurts your ears. Not peaceful, not calm. It's the kind of silence that presses down on your chest until breathing feels like work. No footsteps in the hallway. No laughter leaking from another room. No door slamming shut when he's late and pretending not to see your worried face. Just stillness. Heavy, unforgiving. Every night, you sit on the edge of your bed, phone in hand, the glow of the screen painting your face in soft blue. Your eyes linger on his name longer than they should. Your thumb hovers, trembling, as if the smallest movement might break what little control you have left. You tell yourself you won't do it tonight. You promise yourself you'll be strong. You whisper, "This has to stop someday." It never does. You open the chat. Read old messages you know by heart. Jokes that don't make sense anymore. Arguments that feel meaningless now. Simple, "I'm home," texts that suddenly feel priceless. You type slowly, carefully, like your words might disturb something sacred. "Did you eat today?" You stare at the message before sending it. Your chest tightens. Your throat burns. You don't expect a reply. You never do. The silence has taught you that lesson over and over again. But pressing send feels like reaching out into the dark. Like knocking on a door you know won't open, yet still hoping someone might be on the other side. For a moment, just a moment, it feels like he's still here. Like he might read it somewhere. Like he might smile. Like you're not completely alone. The phone stays quiet. The screen goes dark. And you sit there, holding it to your chest, letting the ache settle in. Because missing him hurts. But letting go hurts more. At first, the messages were rare, careful, almost polite. Birthdays, holidays, the kind of days that already hurt enough on their own. You'd type a single line, delete it, type it again. Something simple, something safe. As if too many words might make it real. Then, slowly, they became daily. You tell him about the weather, even though he used to tease you for caring about it so much. You tell him when it rains, because he loved the sound of it on the roof. You tell him when it's too hot, because he always complained and then secretly enjoyed it. You tell him about the neighbor who still asks how he's doing. How you smile and nod, pretending the question doesn't cut straight through you. How you say, "He's fine," because it's easier than explaining absence. You tell him how the house feels too big now. How every room echoes. How his chair stays empty, but you still walk around it like he's sitting there. You apologize for things that don't need forgiveness. For raising your voice that one time. For walking away instead of listening. For thinking there would always be another chance. You apologize for not hugging him longer. For letting go first. For every moment you thought you had time. Some nights, the messages turn into paragraphs. Long, rambling confessions you'd never have the courage to say out loud. Things you only admit when no one can interrupt you. When no one can see you fall apart. You tell him you're tired. That you're trying. That some days you almost feel okay, and then feel guilty for it. The messages stay unread. No typing bubbles. No blue ticks. Just sent, sent, sent. Each one feels like dropping a stone into a well and waiting for a sound that never comes back. And yet, somehow, it still feels like talking to him. Like he's listening somewhere you can't reach. Like your words are keeping him close, even if he can't answer. Because silence with him still feels better. Then a world where you stop speaking his name at all. You remember the last day perfectly, not as a blur but as a loop that plays without permission. The sound of his shoes by the door, the familiar rhythm, left, right, pause. The way you almost told him to stay, but didn't. The way he said, "I'll text you when I get there." Casual, certain, ordinary. You watched him leave like you always did. No dramatic goodbye. No final words that sounded important enough to remember. He never did. The doctors used words like instant and nothing we could have done. They said them gently, like that might soften the blow. Like clean sentences could stitch something back together. But those words don't help at 3 a.m. When the house is dark and your mind is loud. When your chest feels hollow and too full at the same time. Grief doesn't come all at once. It doesn't knock. It seeps in. It leaks into the mornings, when you reach for your phone out of habit. Into the afternoons, when you almost tell him something funny that happened. Into the evenings, when the quiet settles in beside you. You still set 2 plates at dinner sometimes. You don't realize it until you're already holding the second one. And for a split second, it feels normal. Until it doesn't. You still listen for his footsteps. Still pause when you hear a sound that almost sounds like him. Still expect the door to open, even though you know better. Hope is stubborn like that. It lingers where logic has already left. It whispers, maybe even when everything else screams never. And maybe that's why you keep texting him. Why you keep his contact. Why you keep speaking into the silence. Because letting go would mean accepting that last day as final. And your heart isn't ready for that kind of truth yet. It's past midnight when you send the message. I miss you. 2 words. Heavy enough to carry everything you haven't said. You place the phone face down, like always. A small act of self-protection. You tell yourself you don't need to see the emptiness confirm itself again. The room is dark. The clock ticks too loudly. Your breathing feels uneven. Seconds pass. Then, a vibration. Your body reacts before your mind does. You freeze. Every muscle locks in place, like moving might undo whatever just happened. Your heart starts pounding so loudly it drowns out your thoughts. So loudly it feels impossible that the sound isn't filling the room. No. You tell yourself it's nothing. A notification. An app update. Your imagination playing tricks on you again. But your hands are shaking now. Slowly, too slowly, you flip the phone over. And there it is. A reply. I miss you too, Mom. Your breath catches. Your vision blurs. For a moment, the world tilts, like reality has slipped off its axis. You read it again. And again. Your thumb presses into the screen, half expecting the words to disappear. They don't. Your chest tightens, not with fear but with something dangerously close to hope. Your lips part like you might say his name out loud. Like he might hear you if you do. Tears spill before you realize you're crying. Hot, silent, uncontrolled. Your mind races. How? Is this real? Is this cruel? But none of the questions matter right now. All that matters is that for the first time in so long, the silence answered back. And for one fragile, terrifying moment, he's not gone. He's texting you. Your first thought isn't hope. It's fear. Pure, sharp, ice-cold fear that crawls up your spine and settles in your throat. A prank. A glitch. Some cruel mistake made by a broken system that doesn't understand grief and shouldn't be allowed to touch it. Your mind scrambles for logic, for anything that explains this without shattering reality. Your heart doesn't want answers, it wants to run. Your hands shake as you type back, fingers clumsy, barely obeying you. Who is this? The message sends, and instantly you regret it. Your stomach twists. Your pulse hammers against your ribs like it's trying to escape. Then the typing bubble appears. 3 dots. They pulse once, twice. Your breath catches in your throat. You feel dizzy, like the room is shrinking around you. The dots stop. Silence. Your thoughts spiral. See? It's fake. Someone's messing with you. You imagine the first message. Then the phone vibrates again. It's me. 2 words. That's all it takes. The phone slips from your fingers and hits the floor with a dull sound that feels impossibly loud. You don't reach for it. You can't. Your chest tightens so suddenly, it feels like your heart might fold in on itself. Your breath comes in shallow, panicked gasps, each one harder than the last. Your vision tunnels. The edges of the room blur. This isn't supposed to happen. Your mind screams it, over and over. Dead people don't text back. Your body reacts before your thoughts catch up. Your hands curl into fists, nails digging into your palms, grounding you in pain just to prove you're still here. Your legs feel weak, useless, like they might give out if you stand. Fear floods everything. Not the kind that makes you scream, the kind that makes you go completely still. Because if this is real, then the rules are broken. And if the rules are broken, you don't know what else could be wrong. What does it mean if he's here? Where has he been? Why now? And worse, what happens when he leaves again? Your chest aches with the terrifying realization that you're standing on the edge of something impossible. Something that could heal you, or completely destroy what little strength you've managed to rebuild. Slowly, trembling, you pick the phone back up. The message is still there. It's me. And in that moment, you understand the cruelest consequence of all. Hope has found its way back in. You pick the phone up again. Your fingers feel numb, like they don't belong to you anymore. This isn't funny. Please stop. The words look small on the screen. Fragile. Like they won't protect you from whatever this is. The response doesn't come right away. Seconds stretch into something unbearable. Your chest aches with every heartbeat. Part of you hopes it won't answer at all. That this nightmare will end if you just wait long enough. Then the vibration. I never stopped listening. The breath leaves your lungs in a broken sound. Tears rush to your eyes so fast, you don't even realize you're crying until the screen blurs. Your shoulders shake, your body folding inward like it's trying to protect your heart from itself. That sentence hits somewhere deeper than fear, deeper than logic. Listening. All this time, every message, every apology, every quiet confession typed into the dark. Your hands tremble harder now, but you type anyway, desperate, reckless. You ask questions only he would know. The nickname he hated because it made him feel like a kid again. The one you only used when you wanted to annoy him on purpose. The reply comes back instantly. Word for word. Same spelling. Same teasing tone. You ask about the song you sang to him as a child. The one you barely remember yourself. The one you only hummed when he couldn't sleep. He finishes the lyric. Your stomach drops. Your skin prickles with cold. Every answer is right. Too right. Your heart stumbles forward, desperate to believe. It swells with a dangerous warmth, with relief so intense it almost feels like joy. For the first time since he died, the emptiness loosens its grip. But your mind is screaming. This isn't possible. This isn't safe. You should run. Your thoughts race through every warning you've ever known. Hallucination. Breakdown. Cruel coincidence. Yet none of them explain how your chest hurts exactly the way it did when he used to say your name. Your breathing grows shallow again, torn between terror and longing. Because believing means reopening a wound that never healed. And not believing means losing him all over again. Your thumb hovers over the keyboard, caught between survival and surrender. Because if this is really him, then death didn't take him the way you thought. And if it isn't, you don't know how much more your heart can survive. So you stay, frozen, listening. You pick the phone up again. This isn't funny. Please stop. The response comes slower this time. I never stopped listening. Tears blur your vision. You ask questions only he would know the answers to. The nickname he hated. The song you sang to him as a child. Every answer is right. Too right. Your heart wants to believe. Your mind is screaming at you to run. You understand now. Your messages were never just words. They were keeping him here. Every I love you. Every good night. A lifeline. But holding on means never letting go. Means trapping him between worlds. You type one final message. Your hands are steady now. I love you. Always. There's no reply. No vibration. No typing bubble. Just silence. The next morning, you wake up lighter. Not healed. Just lighter. The pain is still there, sitting quietly in your chest like it always has. Less sharp. Like it's finally learned how to exist without tearing you apart. Sunlight slips through the curtains. The world hasn't ended. The room is still the room. Your heart is still beating. You lie there for a moment, listening to your own breathing. You reach for your phone. Your fingers hover as if you could type something, anything. A good morning, an I love you, and I'm trying. But you stop. Not because you don't miss him, not because you don't want him, but because you understand something now. Whether it was memory, imagination, or something you'll never have an answer for, you were heard enough to let go. The house is still quiet, but it no longer feels empty. Grief hasn't disappeared, it never does. It has simply changed shape, less like a wound, more like a scar, something tender but survivable. You carry him with you now, not in messages sent into the dark, and for the first time in a long while, that feels enough. If you could text someone you lost, would you ever stop? If this story meant something to you, don't let it end here. Subscribe, because every week, we share stories that remind you who you're becoming. And if you know someone who needs this message, send it to them.